And we're referring to this as case 001. I will be referring to this parent as LB. LB, hi, how are you this evening?
Good, how are you?
Excellent. Okay, so I received your email, and we have spoke previously about this case, and now we're going to document it. Okay.
Okay.
So keep in mind that we can't disclose any details that would reveal your identity of yourself or your children or the state that you're in. Okay.
Okay.
So first, let's set up off of your email. Let's go over exactly what happened, and then you can fill in the blanks. So,
Okay.
from what I gather, the grounds that your children were taken was a social worker making claims of alleged domestic violence between uh, you and your partner and the head lice, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So go into the details about why those grounds were not legitimate for your children to be removed from your custody.
There's been no domestic violence at all in the relationship. And as for the head lice, my child was going to a school that's infamous for having head lice constantly. It
Okay,
dates all the way back to when I was a kid.
but in your particular case, you took the children the same day, and you have medical records stating that there was no evidence of head lice in any of the children, correct?
Correct.
And you also have a police report stating that the officer also documented in the report that there was no domestic violence witnessed, correct?
Yes.
And that same officer contacted you and brought to your attention a discrepancy and suggested that you take it to the social worker and have them amend it, correct?
Um, I'm not sure what you mean by that one.
I'm trying to go off of your email. Why don't you better clarify in your own words exactly what happened with the officer and the discrepancy?
The officer that was here when the social worker was here put down that there was no bruises on the kids. And then underneath the section where he was being descriptive about it, he put down there was no, it asked the question, is this child abuse, neglect, or maltreatment? And he put no. As well as putting that there were no bruises, no injuries to the kids. He never wrote down that my house was unsanitary or that my kids were unsanitary or anything like that.
So there was no documented evidence for the kids to be taken, correct?
Correct.
So when you produced the doctor's report stating there was no evidence of head lice on the children, uh, and you brought this to the social worker's attention, were the kids still in your custody at that time?
No, that was when we went to court.
Okay. What was the social worker's response when you brought it to her, the medical record to her attention? What was her response to the medical evidence?
In the fact-finding trial that was done, she was asked to repeat what she said about the kids being unhygienic and having head lice, and then she was asked, "Well, is that what the medical record is going to say?" She said yes. And the lawyer stated, "I would like to enter into evidence the medical records that state the opposite of that."
And what was the court's response to that?
They ignored it.
Okay. So, in summary, what is the status of your children right now, as we speak?
As we speak, they are still in foster care. The judge just changed the goal from return to parent to free to adopt.
And you have a hearing coming up on August 1st, 2017, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And from what I understand, your partner has lost his visitation rights to his children because they've decided to adopt him out, correct?
Correct.
So, what is the response from the court of why one parent is only allowed to visit the children?
Because the visits, they claim the visits are going bad, and that every time he comes to a visit, that the oldest child regresses, and she's going to the bed, she's wet in the bed, and she's going to the bathroom in her pants, and also she's telling kids, she's telling lies, and telling her younger brother to do certain things or to say certain things that aren't true, and that the visits have been detrimental to the kids. Yet we have the visit laws that state that they're not detrimental at all. They're actually going good.
And when you tried to, so you and your partner have witnessed abuse of the children during their time in foster care, yes?
Yes.
Okay, and you attempted to document this with photographs, correct?
Correct.
And what was
we weren't the only ones to document it, though. The foster agency was also the ones taking pictures.
And why were they doing that?
Because the bruising and the injuries were so horrendous that there were some good people that were trying to do their job and were getting blocked.
And tell me what happened to your son when you tried to document his ankle being broken. How did the court respond to you trying to bring the severe abuse of your children to their attention?
Our visits were with the pictures that we were taking. We went to court, and in court, they accused us of only being concerned with the bruises and the injuries to our children, and the judge suspended our visit from July until December of 2015. And in November, my son broke his ankle. The younger child broke his ankle for 2 days. They didn't take him to the emergency room when it happened. The foster parents left the child in a room by himself in a wood shop, which the caseworker at the time admitted that the foster mother left my son alone at 2 years old in a wood shop. And nothing was done about it.
So, do you and your partner feel that you were retaliated against by the court for attempting to document and have them intervene on behalf of the best interest of the children to discontinue the abuse?
Yes.
Would you, based on your experience and personal observation of the care of your children, do you feel that the children are being tortured in state care?
Yes, I do. My daughter comes and comes to the visits. The last visit I had with her was Wednesday. She came to it crying. And she doesn't cry. I mean, she was crying because she didn't get chicken nuggets. She doesn't ever do that. Not over something like that.
So,
she never wants to leave. She's constantly crying. She wants to go with mommy. She's told Mama how many times I'm going home with mommy.
do you feel you have exhausted all of your administrative remedies in your state, and both on state and federal level? Do you feel that you're at the end of your rope as far as trying to get your children home?
Definitely. Every time I try to get help, every time we try to get help, we get told that, there's nothing we can do.
Based on
So,
based on your personal experience, do you feel your children were moved in violation of due process and court corruption?
definitely. No doubt in my mind. They had no reason, they had no pictures of our house looking as bad as what they claimed that it did. And we have pictures of the same day that they said that they were in our house. We have pictures of our house.
Okay, so when have they conducted any interviews to establish as a character, establish your character with you and your partner?
No.
Okay. So here's the
They
last.
sent us a psychologist that lied on their paperwork.
So, real briefly, without going into detail, and without giving names, but only their title within the court, can you go down and give me a brief list of the primary people that you feel are responsible or had a hand in their poor conduct to remove your children from you?
The judge, he's had a major hand in it. He's the one that directed that the children be temporarily removed. The Child Protective Services investigator, the initial investigator, and of course her supervisor. And we've had two other people for CPS that have been lying and falsifying documents that are ongoing CPS workers. Not to mention the law guardian.
The what?
The law guardian.
The law guardian.
Attorney for the children.
Oh, okay. Law guardian. That's what it's called in your state?
Yes.
Okay. Now, to be fair, have there been any agencies in addition to the foster agency that have been trying to intervene on behalf of the children due to the abuse? Or is it just no?
Even the foster agency, up until recently, the foster agency started doing the same thing that Child Protective Services has been doing, and that's falsifying visit logs, falsifying documents. They have a counselor over there, two different counselors now, that have lied and falsified documents. One of them actually quoting that we have never provided a safe environment for our children, and this lady's never met us except for once, and that was after the fact. How she knew we didn't provide safe environment for our child prior to our kids going into foster care. You got me on that one.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through a few more questions. Are any of your children disabled?
No.
Okay. What are some of the what do you want to see happen with your kids? I'll bypass these other questions. What is what outcome are you hoping for?
I want my kids back. To both their mom and their dad, who are both very involved into their lives, and I want these people held accountable and something to be done so they don't keep torturing other children and other families that don't deserve it.
Do you feel there is a need for court reform in the United States based on everything that you have gone through?
Absolutely. I think that they need to overhaul the whole justice system, as well as overhaul, possibly get rid of the CPS units.
Okay, LB. We're gonna cut it short because I think we pretty much went down this. As you know, we'll be doing follow-up calls and going into things more detail, but this is just to establish the basis of your case. And we look forward to you participating in the blog and seeing how you can participate and tell your story through the way Justice Speaks Up has chose to do this. Okay. And all right, I will be talking to you again soon.
Okay.
All right, good night.
Good.
So that was LB, case 001, and clearly any common sense tells you that head lice, which can be caught on in any public space, and is not grounds for removing of a child, and that no evidence of domestic violence, including the officer himself saying there is no evidence, they are just seeming to do whatever they want to do. And this is the problem. We're going to be going through these cases, and the purpose of this is to show you the common thread that in, head lice versus broken ankles and being locked in wood shops as a toddler. Uh, I'm going to present the evidence to you, and we just want everybody to use their own discernment and see whether it's in the best interest of these children to be returned to their parents or to continue in foster care where they are being tortured. So that's the end of case 001, part 1. We'll see you again soon. Bye.